This is the third video in the triathlon video series, and today we are going to talk about the second leg of the triathlon, which is the bike. Let's get started. The bike leg is the second leg of the race, and it is sandwiched between the swim and the run. This is the longest leg in the race. Roughly half of your time in training as well as racing will be spent on the bike. So it's essential that you're very good on the bike. In longer triathlon races, the bike leg is non-drafting, meaning you're not allowed to ride directly behind another rider and you need to maintain a 12-meter distance.
You're drafting! Come on, Heather, you're drafting. You've been there all day. So shameless.
This rule is in place to prevent the rider from getting any undue advantage from riding directly behind the rider. There are race marshals moving on the route who will give you a time penalty, or they can even get you disqualified if you repeatedly violate this rule. Generally, in the shorter races, there are no such restrictions. In fact, in an Olympic distance race, drafting is a key element of the race, and you'll see the riders riding together in a bunch and helping each other out. Nutrition and hydration is very essential during the bike leg. Ideally, you should consume enough food and drink so that you can sustain the effort on the bike as well as be in good shape when you start the run. For shorter races, it's best to carry your own nutrition. You can have a bottle on the bike cage, and you can have a few food items and maybe a small banana or a gel or an energy bar in the back pocket. But in the longer races, since this is not, you can't really carry so much food with you, the organizer will ensure to have aid stations which will supply you with anything that you need. During the bike course, you will find a lot of aid stations on the route, and the volunteers will actually be handing out stuff. Now, this is done in such a way that you don't need to actually stop the bike. You can just pick up whatever you need from the hands of the volunteer and ride off. Of course, this sounds and looks much easier than it is actually, and you need quite a bit of practice for you to safely do this on the race day. Now, it's very important to pace yourself well on the race. If you go much harder than you can, then probably you'll have a bad run. On the other hand, if you go much slower and easier on the bike leg, then your timings are going to suffer. Let's talk about the equipment. Now, do you need the best of the bike, the best of equipment to actually do well in the race? Well, yes, as well as no. Well, what you do need and what is the basic requirement is a cycle which works, which has brakes, which meets the regulations of the race. There are triathlon specific bikes in the market which are meant to be ridden in a straight line over long distances, as well as road bikes. In my opinion, if you're just starting out in the journey, don't spend a lot on the bike. Even a decent road bike which fits your size should do the trick. In fact, in the shorter distances, the triathlon specific bikes are not allowed. Now, most of the international races will block the roads so that you can have a very safe race. This, however, may not be true for local races. So it's better that you check with the race organizer so that you know what to expect on race day. Also, it's always best to study the route beforehand and be alert on race day. Now, as soon as you finish the bike leg, you head to transition 2. You rack your bikes and you start the run leg. How is this run different from a marathon? We will talk about this in the upcoming videos. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please share this video with your friends. And if you have any comments or questions, you can obviously put them down in the comment section. This is Abhishek of Heart from Triathlon Made Easy, signing off.